St. John Vianney College Seminary. Today's video will be on daily Mass. We will go through the rituals and movements required for the source and summit of our day here at Seminary, the daily Mass, which occurs every day at 7 a.m. The Mass begins with the procession through the doors to the left of the chapel, the cross leading, the book following on the right, and the acolyte following on the left. Upon entering the sanctuary, the cross will stop at the white diamond, bow his head, and place the cross in its stand. The book and acolyte will stop at the black diamonds and genuflect together before going their separate ways. The book bearer prepares to present the book during the penitential act and waits at the foot of the sanctuary. As the priest says, "Let us pray," the server presents the book open and off to his left side to allow the priest to be seen and heard. The book bearer approaches the altar with the Roman Missal, while acolyte 1 carries the main celebrant's chalice and the cross bearer carries the tray of chalices. Upon meeting behind the altar, the servers will reverently bow and begin to prepare the altar for the liturgy of the Eucharist. The cross bearer, carrying the tray with chalices, approaches the altar and places the tray to the right of the corporal. He then places the 4 chalice on the marks of the corporal and places the ciborium on the corporal set out for the main chalice. Acolyte 1, carrying the main chalice, approaches the altar and places the chalice on the left of himself. He then takes the corporal, unfolds it so that the emblem of St. John Vianney faces him. He then places the paten to the right of the corporal, places the ciborium, if any, on the center of the corporal, places the purificator to the right of the corporal, and places the chalice to the top right of the corporal. The book bearer, carrying the Roman Missal and concelebrating books, approaches the altar and places the book stand on the top left of the corporal. He removes the concelebrating books and places them off to the left side of the book stand. He then opens the Roman Missal to the introduction of the liturgy of the Eucharist. Following after, he places the concelebrating books to the side corners of the altar. Following the preparation of the altar, the 3 servers will process back to the credence table. The book bearer will then process to the sanctuary with the cruet of wine and water, first stopping at the red tile, then processing to the altar when the priest turns to him. After the book bearer begins to process back to the credence table, the cross and acolyte process to the foot of the altar for the washing of the hands. Once the priest turns to the servers, the 2 will process to meet the priest at the corner of the altar. After a reverent bow, they will turn into each other and process back. After the preface, the 3 servers will process to the cushions laid out for the Eucharistic prayer. At the epiclesis, the acolyte will ring the bells once. At each elevation of the species, the acolyte will ring the bell 3 times. Servers should maintain a prayerful reverence during the whole of the Eucharistic prayer. At the sign of peace, servers should offer the sign of peace in a prayerful and dignified manner, conscious of their presence to the lay faithful. Once the priest has consumed, the 3 servers will move from kneeling to the side of the altar on the red line. After receiving, the book bearer and acolyte will clear the altar. Reversing the order of how they set the altar, the 2 servers will take a step back and reverently bow together before processing back. For the prayer after communion, the book bearer will present the book off to his left. Upon completion, the server will turn to the back of the Missal for the St. Michael the Archangel prayer. Following the dismissal, the cross will line up between the acolyte and book bearer. As the priest genuflects, the book and acolyte will genuflect, and the cross will bow his head and begin the exiting procession.